Welcome to the Midnight American. I'm Ben. I'm here with Justin in the corner here. And that way, when you hear a voice, you know that it's not just me throwing my voice. I really liked the last one that we did. The last video that we did on Tuesday was right on point. If you didn't catch that one, and the video, something went wrong with it, so we just recorded the audio to it, but it was so right on. I'm going back and listening to it. So go back and listen
Yeah,
to
you
that.
actually gave yourself some emotion, and you told it how you really felt.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of fluff there. And we talked a lot about the raid in Mar-a-Lago and just kind of what it means and all of that, But let me start off today by premising what we are going to be talking about here, which is that not everyone in the world is equal. And this podcast understands that. Okay, if you're looking for some place where everyone is beautiful, everything is wonderful, everyone is a snowflake, this is not the podcast for you. So, if you can come in here and understand, some of us are beautiful, some of us are not so beautiful. They get benefits, the advantage of being better looking, being tall. We've talked about this before, Justin, over people who are short and maybe not so good looking. Maybe you come from a good family or even a wealthy family. Some come from poverty. Some come from bad backgrounds where perhaps they were abused in some kind of way. And you carry that with you, and it just becomes a burden that you're going to deal with. We can't all come out to the same outcome with that happening. Some are weak, some are strong. We're all different colors from different neighborhoods. We are different genders. Some of us are ambitious. Some of us are lazy. Some of us get up early. Some of us get up late. Some of us are stupid. And some of us are smart. And that's just how it is in the world. And we want to give everyone the best advantage that they can, regardless of where you come from. But, Justin and I were talking about this earlier. And we were saying we'd like this to be a podcast or a vidcast for people who are leaders or want to be leaders. Their followers are going to be followers. And as I said, not everyone, unfortunately, God did not see fit to give brains out evenly. And sometimes, no matter what we say, no matter what we bring to the fore, no matter what evidence is presented, people are just going to believe what they're going to believe. We were also talking about how the internet really supports this. So we're looking for people who can think for themselves, who are, creative, but also can think. And when you think for yourself, you can be more yourself. And that's a tough thing to be in today's world, because everything is designed to make you follow. Everything is designed actually to lead you down a funnel and make you buy in some kind of way, whether it's buy into a sports team or politics or whatever. Doesn't matter what it is. And when you think for yourself, bad people are not going to, they're not going to like you. And they'll probably attack you because you're not being the docile cash cow that you need to be. And you're not following the funnel that says, hey, here's the instant gratification. Okay, here's the next place where you find instant gratification, and the next place. And this happens everywhere. Politics, in Hollywood, and especially in the media, which is what we're going to talk about today. We are going to get into some more of the Trump raid, or the raid on Trump's estate in Mar-a-Lago. Okay, so if you can, just for one moment, break away and think for yourself. Don't just come to your own biases and look for things that support your own confirmation bias, but just listen and just be open to listening. And I'm always that way too. I want to hear what other people have to say. So comment on this video if it's something you don't agree with. Other people are going to debate you. That's where it happens. But always keep in mind, this is not the real world. This is the internet. Okay, you really shouldn't even be here. You should be outside, talking to people, making things happen, building a community, all of that. But you're here, and we appreciate it, and it's all good. Okay, so let's talk a little bit again about this raid. Now, why do I keep coming back to this raid on Mar-a-Lago, on the estate in Mar-a-Lago? Because this is a defining moment. I really feel this is history. And so let's go to it. And I'm actually using MSNBC as a resource to let you know I don't just go off to some conservative site to get all my information, but I also read with a critical mind. So let's get into it. The problem with Trump's response to the FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago. Now, that title, just in and of itself, right away sent up a red flag for me, because the problem with Trump's response, you see, it's not the initial action that is the problem, because this is a biased source. Right away, you have to see that that's a bias. See that, at least. Okay? It's the problem is Trump's response. After the FBI executed a search warrant at Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump tried to push back with a lengthy defense. How dare he? How dare he? Not just bend over and take it up the ass. It's amazing just how unpersuasive it was. This guy will never be persuasive. We said before he could cure cancer, and they say he caused cancer. There are so many scandals surrounding Donald Trump that when the news broke about federal law enforcement's executing a search warrant at the former president's home, the political world had to collectively pause and ask an uncomfortable question. Okay, again, let's be critical. What scandals? What scandals? You mean the ones that have been made up since the day he announced that he was running for president? What has he been indicted for?
Was it the Russia?
Yeah, the collusion, you mean?
Yeah, that fake one.
Yeah, the fact that, yes. I mean, you could tell me what scandal.
That he was found guilty for?
You mean the headlines that they continue to pound him with. If there was a scandal, why is he not indicted for something? And you could say, well, he's not indicted because they haven't come after him yet. On what? On which one? Have you just been reading headlines? Have you just been, and again, okay, the asking comfortable question. Which of the many ongoing investigators surrounding the Republican generated these developments? As it turns out, we didn't have to wait too long for an answer. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Okay, you've been waiting. Okay, or whoever this Steve Bannon on here is saying, he's essentially saying we haven't had to wait long for an answer to finally have something come out on one of these many scandals surrounding Donald Trump. Let me just keep reading. Because I'll get off on a tangent. Former President Donald Trump said Monday that the FBI raided his home in Mar-a-Lago, Florida, and even cracked the safe with a source familiar with the matter, telling NBC News that the search was tied to classified information Trump allegedly took with him from the White House to his Palm Beach resort in January of 2021, which he had the full right to do. He is the president. He has access to classified information. He even has...
He's the president, is the one that declassifies information.
And he still has access to classified information even as an ex-president.
Yeah, post-presidency, he still has.
In case anyone needs a refresher, it was February when questions first emerged about the degree to which Trump mishandled sensitive materials. Go ahead and move it on up a little. Some of which were labeled top secret. Oh, he had access to top secret information. Shocker. In late February, the National Archives and Record Administration confirmed that officials uncovered classified information along with documents Trump took to Mar-a-Lago. So far, so good. So far, nothing strange, nothing odd. Okay. And that the archives had consulted with the Justice Department about the matter. In fact, describing the materials as sensitive appears, now here's where it gets good, appears to understate matters quite a bit. Sensitive. Okay, they're sensitive. We get it. Okay. The Washington Post reported that the classified documents in question bore markings that the information is extremely sensitive. Okay, we didn't. We knew they were sensitive. We didn't know they were extremely sensitive, and would be limited to a small group of officials. You mean like the president? With authority to view such highly classified information. You mean like the president?
I bet it was the Epstein list.
The Post.
Is that what we're talking about here?
Right. Yeah. The Post went on to note in a follow-up report 2 weeks later that only a very few people even had the necessary clearances to review these records, adding the documents are so sensitive that they may not be able to describe them in an unclassified way. They are so damn sensitive. If your eyes even glance over them, your head will literally explode.
It's that scene
off your shoulders.
It was in Smile and Time. It was like, don't even look at it. don't even look at it.
The result was an extraordinary dynamic. A former American president took these top secret materials, keep going, up to an unsecured venue known as a haven for spies. Is this Mar-a-Lago? In April. Okay, look. I just wanted to get a kind of an overview of all this. And we're not going to get into this too deep because it's just going to get boring. Okay. Everyone is kind of followed along on what's been going on with this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to show that, the explosive language that they use to build everything up. And everything I just read there so far, there is nothing. It's a nothing burger, like everything always is. Okay. So what do they got to do? Right away, this doesn't start flying so well. Okay. The FBI going in there and they're saying the right hand, Biden didn't know anything about this and right hand didn't know what the left hand was doing and all this. And the optics on this they were hoping would turn up something, and maybe they'll still find something that they'll be able to use for the midterms. But the optics just aren't playing so well with this. So they got to back it off a little bit. You notice this isn't being covered like it was when it first came out, even though this is one of the most critical events that we will see probably in a decade. This is huge. This is huge because it's such an overstep. It's such an overreach in a ridiculous way. Nothing like this has ever happened to a president or ex-president. So this is a big deal. And, it falls in line with a lot of other things that are going on right now, which we'll see if we got time to go into that. But what do? Same thing they do every time when they want to kind of start burying things. We need to start changing the definition and the language. And what is it? Don't call it a raid. Okay, I'll go ahead and bring up this part right here. They say, okay, FBI raids Trump Mar-a-Lago home, but they say FBI raid, MSNBC figures balk at calling Mar-a-Lago search a raid, even as colleagues use the term. But see, they know one thing about the left. And one thing about these people that understand, we're talking to lemmings. We're talking to people who have no critical thinking whatsoever. Okay? They can't look at something like this and see that the language is being changed and the definitions are being changed. They will just buy into whatever it is that they hear because they hate Trump. I understand why you would hate Trump. He's a narcissist. I've said it many times. I get it. But you have to understand how, well, you don't have to.
I mean, he's like
It'd just be good if you understood that you're
the
being
best narcissist I've ever seen.
Well, his narcissism actually plays to the best of what we need in America. I mean, if you benefit from it, just because a business owner makes gobs of money from their business, I'm using this as an example, doesn't mean that we don't benefit from the product. That's kind of how capitalism works, and it's how most things work. So, but they say don't call it a raid. Go ahead and play a little bit of the video here.
Was necessary on the part of the FBI in order to pull off this raid?
We keep hearing a lot of people call what the FBI did at Mar-a-Lago a raid. But for fact's sake, here's the deal.
And it's the one that resulted in an FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago.
Okay. All right. Let's stop for a second. Okay. Because you know where this is going to go. This is going to be just a
face.
whole video of them saying it's not, especially this woman. She's going to keep saying this was not a raid. It is not used. It's not a word that's used legally and not a raid. Okay. Let's define what will they call it instead? Of course, they're going to change the language like they do everything. A protest is not a protest. It's an insurrection if we need to sound worse than it actually is. Of course, if it is an actual riot, we call it a peaceful, a fiery, but mostly peaceful protest. You know, global warming, we call climate change. Illegal aliens, we call them undocumented workers, and on and on. And it just keeps going on like this. So they're going to change the language in order to change the narrative. That's the idea here. So
where they change it to an investigation,
a search. We're just going to call it a search. Okay. I don't know. Let's see what she says. Maybe she does clarify that.
But for fact's sake, here's the deal.
And it's the one that resulted in an FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago today.
Okay. Law enforcement doesn't even use the term raid.
What do they
fact
use?
That a search warrant was issued and a raid was conducted.
Words matter. And calling a court-authorized search a raid...
There it is. Okay, stop. Hey, words matter. First of all, she says that. Why do words matter? Because that's how you can change the narrative. You see, people who think with their own mind, they hear what something is called and they can think critically and they can understand what the definition of it is on their own. But when you are talking to somebody with a very low IQ, you must change the language in order to manipulate emotion because they're not going to think critically. They're just going to think emotionally, right?
Right.
So it's not a raid, it's a search. Well, let's ask ourselves something. If the police show up at your door and they say, yeah, we need to search the place, what would you expect them to do?
Go through my stuff? What do you mean? If they came to my house?
Yeah. I say, yeah, we need to come in and search your place or whatever. You know, there's, we think you have something here and we need to come in and search the place. First of all, you'd say no, which is, this was all done completely without, Trump's authorization or anything. They haven't even presented a warrant to my knowledge. Okay, I could be off on this, but I haven't seen them produce anything yet. They just go in there, guns loaded, and that's the other thing. They show up there, they're armed. There's 30 of them, I think.
Something like that.
Went in there. Okay, that's not a search. That's come in. A couple cops come in and search your place. 30 of them come in. Okay, that's not a search. That's a raid. Another part of that definition for me, anyway, would be they come in, they look around. If what they see isn't there, they leave. That's not what they did. They came in and they took things. They took whatever. As a matter of fact, they wanted to shut off all the cameras. They didn't want anyone to see what they were taking and what they were doing and what they were up to. It's not a search. Okay? When you want to take away all information, you come in there in numbers and you grab boxes of things and you take them out of there without somebody saying, yes, you can take that. That is a raid. If I go into a village and I say, I just want to search the village a little bit. Okay? I'm an authoritarian. I'm coming into the village. I'm going to search the village. What do you expect me to do? I'm going to come in and kind of take my horse and look around, see who's doing what they shouldn't be doing. If I come in numbers and I pilfer things that are not mine and I take them away for whatever reason it is without others saying you can take it,
check this out.
That's a raid.
Well, we'll just check out what Google says about it before
right.
they change it, because they're going to change it soon.
Right.
A surprise.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know he was in New York, so it was a surprise attack by a small force.
Small force. That was a force
and
there.
And we got a sudden invasion by officers of law.
Okay.
That sounds like exactly what happened.
That's words matter, Justin. Words matter. But look, we can say this, and there's still going to be people out there that are going, I'm still bought in. I'm sorry, Ben, you're not convincing me. Now, as I said, this podcast is for people who can already think. We're not going to change anybody's mind. We understand that. But for those few who maybe for a second say, well, let me just listen to what this guy has to say. Not everyone is unhappy about this. Some are thrilled that there's an authoritarian overreach by the government, by the Federal Investigation Bureau. Oh, someone like, who? Let's see, maybe Stephen Colbert. Oh, okay, yes. All these, as I said, people who are in the media, people who are actors and in Hollywood and all of that. And he's no exception to the rule. And let's see what he says here. Yeah, let's see if he's happy about the authoritarian overreach. Let's see.
As we wanted. FBI agents raided Mar-a-Lago.
Well, he's thrilled.
Cue the applause sign.
Yes.
Everyone applaud.
A whole room full of people who cannot wait who have finally discovered.
What a weasel.
A whole room full of people who have finally discovered how the authoritarians in charge, okay, your government is finally right. They care about you. They love you. They're finally doing what you want them to do. What else? What else does he say there? Let's see.
You want to listen to the video, or
A little bit more. Let's see what he says there.
America has ever produced. It's right up there with we put cheese inside the crust. Here's what we know. Early Monday morning, the FBI executed a search warrant on the former president's offices and personal quarters. I feel bad for those agents.
Okay.
Sir, I finished searching the
Personal quarters. Okay, keep going.
cabinet full
That would
of
be
empty
bedroom, that kind of stuff.
right?
chicken buckets. Where should I go next? Please don't say the bathroom. Please don't say the bathroom. Please don't say the bathroom.
Toilet jokes always work. Go ahead.
So low.
Good God.
So we know the raid happened. We still don't know why the raid happened because we don't yet know what was in the warrant. Think about that.
Yeah, think about
We're
that.
talking-
Hold on. Do think about that. Now, he's going to tell, when he says that, he's going to tell you how to think about that. I'm not going to tell you how to think about that. I'm going to say, think with your own mind. Ask yourself, just stop at the question that he just asked. We haven't seen a warrant. We don't know what it's about or anything. Think about that. An ex-president. Never happened in history. Just stop there and think about that. But he'll tell you what to think. Go ahead, Justin.
Former president of the United States of America. The FBI raids his home, and all I can think is, I wonder which of his crimes they're investigating.
Stop. Yes, which of his crimes? See, he's going to tell you there's been all these crimes. Which one of these crimes are they investigating? Yes, which one? Tell me.
There are none.
Oh, there's been plenty. There's been tons. One. Name one. What has he been indicted for? What has he been called to the mat for? What? They got nothing on him. Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Now, if they produce something, I'll reel it back and say, okay, but I'm not going to agree with this. Because which of the many crimes, you mean the many crimes that you've made up over the last 6 years on this guy? Just made them up out of thin air? You know what I mean? All the headlines, the things that have been investigated, the 2 impeachments, all of that, everything that's been made up on him and put in the headlines and then had to be retracted later on page 30? You mean those? Just asking. Go ahead.
He's done so many. It's hard.
Has he?
It's hard to name them.
It's hard to name them
there's
because
so
I
many.
can't. There's so many. It's hard to even think of one. Go ahead.
At this point, he can't keep track. Sir, do you know why I pulled you over? Let's see, the body's in my trunk.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So he can't even come up with a real one. He's got to make one up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, it should be pretty easy to pull at least one out of the bag. Nope.
Yeah, prep one.
Yeah, just prep one.
At
Just,
least one that's always there, ready
yeah,
to go.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what this
Meth
guy.
in the glove compartment.
You mean Biden's
yeah.
son has meth in the glove?
Yes.
compartment.
Yeah. Yes.
He's
yes.
got the wrong guy. He's confused. He's confusing Trump with Clinton and Biden.
Well, that's not surprising. Yeah.
Well, because that's what the Democrats do all the time is they accuse Republicans of doing the crimes
Exactly what
that
they
do.
are doing. That's right. Yeah, I mean, isn't that hilarious? It's stunning, really. Even if I don't care if you're just dyed in the wool, bought into this. I mean, 100%. You just think Stephen Colbert is a comedy genius. Okay, and you absolutely think Trump is a disgusting person. Are you not listening to what is being said here? And thinking, going, he's not. He's not saying anything. He's bringing no actual crimes to light, and the ones that he's using as jokes are actual crimes that have been committed that we have actual hard, solid evidence of on the computer, on a laptop that's not been brought to face, but they're in Mar-a-Lago. Keep going.
And
I'm
Epstein died from Hillary too.
Keep going.
Full of illegal spider monkeys who definitely got into the meth? No? Oh, it's the busted taillight? Fair enough. I was kidding about the other stuff. Apparently, the FBI raid is all part of an ongoing investigation launched by the National Archives and Records Administration.
We just went
That's
through
right.
this.
He's going to get
Oh, wait, no, go ahead. Let's see what his joke is.
taken down by the librarians.
Stop.
Okay?
I can't take it. I can't take it. I mean, God damn, what happened to real comedy, dude?
The woke went broke on comedy.
God. Give us. Remember Richard Pryor?
Yep.
Dude, when comedy was hard, I don't expect that Richard Pryor would probably never make it. This is kind of,
Eddie Murphy.
primetime TV, but,
Robin Williams.
Excuse me.
Any stand-up from the 80s. and
George
90s.
Carlin.
Yep.
Sam Kinison. Dude, Sam Kinison. I would give anything for Sam Kinison. How much Sam Kinison have you listened to?
Enough.
Okay.
He's pretty out there. Intense.
Taken too soon, dude. Taken too soon. I mean, at least we got a Bill Burr. There's a few comedians out there that still have some balls
Joe
that'll
Rogan.
step out there. Yeah, Joe Rogan. Yeah, he'll step out there a little bit here and there. This is absolute tripe. And the funny thing about it, the sad thing about it actually is that Stephen Colbert, he used to be relatively funny. He had a show where he played a kind of a faux conservative, okay, kind of a phony conservative. And so he would play it from that angle, and it was actually pretty clever comedy. Now he's just sad. He does the weakest milquetoast lemming comedy. And just pounds that fucking applause button to death. Please laugh at me. He's going to be taken down by librarians. Please don't make me search the toilets. Are you serious? Jesus.
It's because everyone's sleeping through his show anyway.
Maybe. I don't know if anybody really watches him too much. Look, and it's sad. Because Saturday Night Live became the same way. They just all of this coming at everything from just give the leftists what they want, and they will do what you want them to do. Give them what they want, and they'll do what you want. I'm all about comedy, dude. I love to laugh. It's the meaning of life. If you can't laugh, there's actually an old saying that says there's no laughter in heaven. I don't know if that's true. But laughter kind of comes from, now here's why I say that, and I'll go off the rails a little bit here and just say, laughter comes from
Imperfections.
flaws.
Yeah.
Yes, imperfections. Exactly. Things that are unexpected. If everything is perfect, there are no flaws. If everything is perfect, there are no imperfections. There's no surprise to anything or anything. And comedy goes away. That kind of doesn't get me really excited about that. This is part of the human experience, laughter, and it's beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful things being alive because there's so much that we have to struggle with, something, that we have to tackle in reality to be able to laugh at things every once in a while. At the absurdity of something is the greatest. It's the greatest. So as a leader, I said we talk to leaders in here, we want to bring comedy always into everything that we do. I know I get a little serious on here. I do. Because this stuff just kind of gets to me a little bit. I don't know. I'm going to have to really lighten it up. You
gotta get somebody else writing your jokes.
Right? I'm going to have to, but I just want to bring things to light. So, okay, but speaking of comedy, we'll get into this a little bit. You remember Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
Okay, Michael Keaton, he's, he used to be
Beetlejuice.
funny. Yes.
And he also did the McDonald's movie.
The McDonald's movie. Which one
And
was
the
that?
Birdman movie.
Oh, yeah, but dude, look. That's when he started getting real serious.
That was
I'm
more
not saying
recent.
that they were terrible movies.
Oh,
I'm
he
just
was
saying,
Batman too back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was right there after Batman because actually when he became Batman, date myself a little bit here because I remember people were like, Michael Keaton playing Batman. He's a comedian. Okay, he really hadn't done anything serious role. You know what I mean? But you know, he had done. I loved him. I thought he was great. He was in Night Shift. You ever seen Night Shift? That was one of his first movies. Dude, he's freaking hilarious in there. Okay, and like you said, Beetlejuice, Mr. Mom, all of those, and then he started getting serious, and it's just not. This is not what this guy really did best, okay? But whether that's the case or not, he's really jumped on board with this whole authoritarian thing. I think, did I bring an article up? Okay, here it is. Michael Keaton. If the FBI can raid Trump, he can do it to you too. Now,
they
can
do it to you too.
Okay, they can do it to you too. I'm sorry. Yes. This, you would think, looking at it at face value, would be what? A warning?
Yep.
I mean, I look at that and I go, you know, if FBI can raid Trump, they can do it to you too. That sounds like a warning. Well, let's go down. Let's see what Michael Keaton says about this. Okay, I'm glad Michael Keaton is looking out for us and letting us know that there's something has gone terribly awry here. And we all need to wake up to it. Okay, because if they can do this to Trump of all people, you are nothing to them. They'll do it to you in a blink of an eye. Thank you. I really appreciate Michael Keaton bringing this awareness to us. Hollywood star Michael Keaton is cheering the FBI's. Oh, wait. He's cheering the FBI's raid of former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago. Cheering it.
Put the brakes on.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Noting that if the FBI can raid a former president, everyone is a potential target. He's cheering this. He's saying that this is a good thing. You all need to know your place. Go down a little bit, you know, while many, let's see here. And he says it right there. Lots of, if they can do this to a former president, they can do it to you talk out there. Precisely. No one is above the law. Apparently, Joe Biden is. Apparently, Joe Biden's son is. Apparently, Hillary Clinton is. Apparently, you know, quite a few people are that really should be investigated. That no, he's letting you know. He's putting you on notice. Okay, that you better pay attention to what's going on because your federal overlords are watching you. He is fully bought in to this. This is full on Gestapo goose stepping to your overlord Gestapo. I don't even know. I don't even know how to describe it. It's anyone that would tell you this, don't trust them. Do not trust them. Okay, if a person will literally do that to you, they will do it to anyone. They don't care what side it is. They don't see people as individuals. They see people as this group over here.
They're just following orders.
That's right. And, you know, of course, these overpaid actors are just like you. You know, they live lives just like you. And he's just trying to warn you. He's just trying to tell you, you know. They love you. These actors do. Michael Keaton.
Yeah, man.
And all
They're
these
come
people
after
that,
you, Keaton.
yeah, that goose step to this authoritarian overreach. They love you. They care about you. They're characters. The people that they are as characters in movies, they're just like that in real life. Just follow. Just follow. Yeah. Anyway, Trump is fundraising off the FBI's search of Mar-a-Lago. And, you know, I take it back. They don't love you. Matter of fact, I think that they pretty much despise you.
They think you're lesser than...
They have no clue what... I mean, let's put it this way. When things go south, they're going to be the last touched. And they will eventually be, you know, under the boot just like everyone else. But they don't see it. From their perch, they don't see it. That things can go south. That by attacking one side, you actually attack us all. Trump is fundraising off the FBI's search of Mar-a-Lago. Funny thing about this, you know, the way that this is phrased, of course, is like it's a bad thing. How dare he fundraise off of this, off the FBI's. How could he fundraise off something that where there is not a problem?
Does he not have a soul?
You know, if somebody breaks in, let's say that somebody comes in, breaks into your storefront, they tear everything up, they break the windows and everything, and he says, you know what? Somebody comes along and says, you know, I'm going to go ahead and start a fundraiser for you, see if we can't fix it. Oh, how dare you fundraise off of this injustice against you? How dare you? If there was nothing wrong, he couldn't fundraise. If people didn't find there to be a problem, but see, these people are being othered. They're being ostracized. And I said it last time on the podcast that we did, that the Democrats, when they came into power last time, they had no intention of ever losing it ever again. You could feel it in everything and all their messaging. They thought, this is it. We got it all figured out. We will be in power. It will be a one-party system from here on out. That's why the day that they had the January 6th insurrection, actually, for once, at one point in time, conservatives came together and actually, which is, you don't see it too often. You don't see conservatives actually out in force like that. Very often. It really takes a lot to push them to that point. Okay, it's not like leftists is drop of a hat, any little thing, they freaking get a hangnail and they got to get a mob together to fucking burn things to the ground. This scared the left. They were like, oh no, we have to cut this off at the root right now and call this something other than what it was. I won't get into that, but yeah, the way that they phrased this, I think people understand that there's something wrong here. And if there wasn't a reason, he couldn't fundraise off of this. If there wasn't a reason for him to be able to fundraise off of this. And I know people on the left are like, oh, they'll just follow Trump, regardless of what he does, whatever he says. Don't be too sure. And as I said, the left, they're scared. They're scared because they did not expect to lose power. And now, even they are starting to infight, as it always comes about, right?
Yeah, they'll self-implode.
Yep. DOJ fingers FBI for Mar-a-Lago raid disaster. Let's go ahead and bring that up on there. Do you got that?
Oh, yeah. We got it right here.
Yeah, deep state infighting. Okay. And they're starting to point fingers, because see, here's what happened. The right hand didn't know what the left hand was doing, and they thought, oh, this is a good time to time this just before the midterms to find something on Trump that we can put in all the Trump lovers' faces and go, look, he's been up to this whole time. Now, when they come up empty, they really have probably built more. They've done more for Trump's cause than against it, and that's why he can fundraise. And they're like, oh shit, okay, we got somebody fucked up here. Somebody fucked up here big time. We got to start pointing fingers. So go on down there. It says senior U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ officials are blaming FBI Director Christopher Wray for the recent raid. See that right under the bus. There you go. You need your pound of flesh. Yep. Here it is. Of former President Donald Trump's home in an apparent attempt to take pressure off the U.S. Attorney Merrick Garland, who, is essentially everyone has to answer to, in the Federal Investigation Bureau, they have to answer to him. And, that shit rolls downhill, regardless of who called it, who called the raid. They're gonna do it. For example, Jim Jordan, who's a Republican of Ohio, representative, top Republican for the House Judiciary Committee. Thank you. Said Merrick Garland, Christopher Wray come to the House of Judiciary Committee this Friday and answer our questions about this action today, which has never happened in history. And he's calling them to the mat. He's saying, look, man, you got to come and tell us what this is about. Okay, because this is going to escalate. This is not going to de-escalate. Why am I talking about this story? Because it's not one that's going to go away. I don't know everything about it, But that's the point. And you do have some hardcore Trumpers out there. You're going to have to answer to them. You know, you can't just brush them under the carpet and say they don't exist. A big portion of the country. And so, yeah.
Over half of the country.
Yeah. So,
Maybe not that much, but
okay. So, anyway, let's move to the next one.
more than 81 million.
You know, but yeah. But I thought there was not a problem, dude. I thought there was no problem. I thought that was all on that level. Everything was on the level. Them going into Mar-a-Lago. You know, yeah, they went in there with a search warrant. I thought they had all these crimes. These crimes. Which one are they going to choose from? Which crime could it be? Oh, wait. Shit. Maybe we didn't think through this entirely. And there's more to this, so we'll see where it all goes from there. And apparently Biden, I don't know anything about it. I don't know.
He doesn't know anything that's going on.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. You know, but he does know that that there's zero inflation, okay, despite the annual rate remaining at 8.5. But Biden has one word to explain what is happening right now with our economy. Go ahead, Biden. Tell us what it is.
I just want to say a number. 0. Today, we received news that our economy had 0% inflation
Okay, stop.
in the month of July.
By the metrics that they measure that by, which means the percentage has not gone up, okay? Inflation is still going up. It's still rising. And we are going down here to actually, or maybe it's on the next one that we go to.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, he's spinning the numbers, okay, is what it is. And saying that it's at 0. It's not at 0. Inflation is not at 0, okay?
I can go to the store right now and tell you it's not 0.
Right. Well, go up a little bit, or I mean, scroll down a little bit. Yeah, right there. Up. No, keep going down. You go. No, the other way. Right here. Stop. The price of food at home jumped 1.3% compared with the month earlier. Over the past 12 months, grocery prices are up 13.1%. That is not 0.
That's 13.1%.
Yes. And you go down here. Breakfast cereal is up 16.4%. Bread up 13.7%. Ground beef 9.7%. Bacon up 9.2%. Breakfast sausages up 15.7%. Chicken up 17.6%. And on and on. Coffee up 20.3%. Butter up 22.2%. Okay, this is not 0 anything. Quit letting them change the metrics, the numbers, the definitions. I mean, they're going to do it. I say quit letting them do it. What I mean is in your mind. Don't let them do it in your mind, because there's nothing you can control. They're going to continue to do this because they know dumb people will follow, and they'll hear every other word, much less listen to every word and read between the lines. And when we are here talking, hopefully, to leaders, and I'm not saying that's me. I'm not saying it's Justin. But we need leaders moving forward. People who can think critically and listen to this and stand on their own and risk being ostracized. You may have to let go of a few friends. You may have to not talk to some family members for a while.
Anyway in the first place.
Right. They were going to listen. Anybody that's doing it, I would not trust anybody that would change the narratives on things, that would essentially just see you. If they wouldn't listen to you, they just have their mind made up on something. You cannot trust these people. Okay? They're going to keep doing what they're doing, regardless. It's weird. It's weird. It's like a zombie-esque kind of way of thinking. They just kind of go along and call themselves woke. But you know what? You can call fucking anything you want. It doesn't make it so. And we have to unify. We have to get people together. And look, I know that people who think a little bit more critically, it's hard. It's hard to get people together because they don't need to be in a mob in order to get anything done. Okay, they work hard. They think things out. They think ahead, And so therefore they take control of their own lives. And no, we need these leaders. We need people to be able to think. We need people who will fight. And, you know, I'm not saying cause violence. No, you don't have to go out and cause violence. Okay, but you have to stand out and I said it before, in order to be unified, in order to have something where everyone comes together, you have to be able to be yourself first. Okay, especially if you're going to be a leader. So, and get off the internet. Okay, because the internet ain't taking you anyplace. I know this is where I understand the irony. We're here, we're talking to you, but we want, and we appreciate so much that you're here listening and a part of these podcasts. But this, again, is not reality. Okay, the way the internet is put together and configured, it's meant to take you. It's meant to divide us. Okay, and that is the way that they're able to make money from you. I made the example to you earlier, Justin, that the NFL makes money now, you know, off the teams, regardless of who wins. But they can't make money off you if you don't pick a side, if you don't pick a team, a home team, someone that you get behind, that you buy the jerseys and you root for them, buy the tickets and all that kind of stuff. They have to divide. They have to, and that's, I know, in a little bit more of a playful way. Not all of them. Some of them get pretty serious about that shit. But the division is what creates the monetization. Okay, and that's how they monetize you online. They can't make any money off people who are unified, who come together. They have to do it by getting people upset and emotional and divided and fighting. And we have to fight against that. And we have to look, I feel that there is a possibility that we could get some of these people who are just kind of lost in the corral of cash cows, and we might get through to one or two. I can only hope. We can open the gate, set you free. You'll have to wander out of the corral. You'll have to get out of there, get away from the other cows. And once you're out of the corral, you're going to have to watch out for the predators, the wolves. They're going to be out there. You're going to have to develop some new skills. You're going to, be ready for unpredictability. See, it's everything's predictable in the corral. You know, when you're in a little safe corral, everything's predictable. It's easy.
Yep.
None of this is easy. So that's all I got. I want to thank you guys. Thank you for listening to my rant and my ramble on this. I really do want to be a part of positivity and positive forces moving forward. Okay, I'm not trying to fight people on the left and fight Democrats and all of that. I know some of this may not fly. It kind of flies in the face of that. Some of my messaging here. I want to work with Democrats. I want to work with liberals. I know there are great people out there that have a liberal mindset that are good people. Mm-hmm. Okay, some of your what you call your conservative Democrats, the ones that basically were your parents, and they fought for the government to stay out of your pocket. They fought for the freedom of speech. These people don't exist. These people out there that believe in these authoritarians, that literally go when they see authoritarian overreach happening, they get excited about it, like Stephen Colbert. Okay, when they get excited about it, like Michael Keaton, when they actually see the boot coming down and say, "Oh, you better be warned." Okay? When you can see outside of that. That's what we want to reach. We want to reach those people. I want you to see it. That's all. And we want to be I want to work with those people. I just can't. I can't work with people that get excited about the government taking control over everything. Let's go back. Let's talk about that abortion thing just for 2 seconds. 2 seconds. We'll wrap it up. The whole idea with the Roe versus Wade was the authoritarian federal government overreach, telling everyone, regardless of where your principles lie, that we have to live by these laws. It was never meant to be that way. Should have been given to the states. That should be broken up. That's all. But they wanted authoritarian overreach. My body, my choice, like hell. No, there was no my body, my choice. There was no choice of anything. Federal government said what you could do. The federal government said that is unconstitutional. We should not be doing that. There should be some choice. Your body, your choice. You got what you wanted. It was actually given to you. Now you have a choice. You want to get an abortion? You can go to this state and get an abortion. You want to live someplace where where your tax dollars aren't paying for that? You can go here and do that. It's great. Those Democrats are becoming further and further and fewer between. But I want to work with people who can think with their own mind. I don't care which side of the fence you're on. I don't care.
Just be honest and fair.
Yes. That's it. Justin's right. Be honest and fair and have courage and have an open line of dialogue and meet some other people. Talk to some other people that maybe don't completely fall in line with everything that you believe. Don't try to confirm your bias all the time. Listen. Just shut up and listen every once in a while. And think critically. I'm not telling you to just swallow it, bait, hook, and all. I'm saying listen to it critically. Have some open discussion. And if you find yourself in talking to these people just wanting to walk away because you don't like what you're listening to, they are not the problem.
Yep.
Guys, that's it. That's all. I'm going to leave it with that.
I was going to finish with this.
Oh, no, go ahead.
This Hunter crack photo. Just
They,
we made the claim earlier. Figured we might share
nothing.
the evidence.
I see nothing. Colonel Clean.
All right.
Yeah,
and then that shirt you're wearing.
Yeah. You see that? What is it?
It's the golden ratio.
Golden ratio. That's right. If you're an artist. You work with that. I work with that on some of my thumbnails.
Is that on
It's not. It's not on Midnight American. I got to get.
Oh, jeez.
I got to get some T-shirts in, and they're all there to order. But I got to wear some here on the show just so that I can show them off a little bit. You can get shirts, mugs, hats, all of that with some very cool stuff designed by yours truly over on MidnightAmerican.com, along with a lot of the other videos that we put together. I mean, short films and music and everything. I mean, good stuff. We've been very busy over the years, creating all kinds of different creations, artistic creations. So yeah, check that out. And subscribe to this channel if you really like what we're talking about here. It's going to get better. We're still getting this thing going. Justin's like, no, let's act like we've been doing this for a couple new subscribers this week. I'm happy with that. No, I like when people come in at the very beginning and they say, no, we're with you. We were with you from the start. Okay, so.
That wasn't my point, but.
Okay. We'll cut it there. Justin's like, we out. Okay. All right, guys. That's it. And hopefully we'll come back next week with something. I think we're going to do this twice a week. I wanted to do it 3 times a week. It's just getting very tough to do it when we have, freelance jobs. Yeah. And lives outside of here, but we're going to at least do this twice a week, shooting for Monday and Thursday. That's what I'm going to call it right now. Monday and Thursday. Okay.
Well, for now. All right.
Sounds good. And if we can't, we just cut it up whenever we can.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
All right, we're out of here. Until next time, know yourself better than you know anyone else.